Hi everyone, and welcome to this demonstration of System Center App Controller. My name is Adam Hall. I am a Technical Product Manager in the System Center team based in Redmond. Today we're going to go through a look at System Center App Controller and Virtual Machine Manager 2012 and how they come together to deliver the ability to manage your new private cloud environments using System Center. So we're going to start with Virtual Machine Manager 2012, and I'll show you the infrastructure view of how the private cloud comes together from this aspect. So in Virtual Machine Manager 2012 we have the Fabric view, and this is where the infrastructural resources can be viewed and managed and maintained. You can see here on the left hand side we can manage storage and networking. We can see our virtual machine management servers that we have running here. And we also have our VMware heterogeneous management capabilities. So here we have a vCenter server running here which manages the VMware ESX environment, and we have created a partnership with that management solution so we can give our customers a single pane of glass across both VMware as well as Zen server environments, and then onto Hyper-V as well. We have a Hyper-V server running here. You can see we have a number of virtual machines running. You can see the fabric, how much storage we have, and other information about the host environment, processor, amount of memory, and so forth. As we switch over to the VMs and services view, we move towards being able to manage not only virtual machines. You can see these are all the VM instances that we have running on that server, but we can also see the services that we have running. Now, services are a lot of resources brought together. You can see we have a publishing service here that is made up of a couple of virtual machines in the web tier. We have a server running in the application tier, and then we have a SQL server running in the back tier. And so we bring all of these resources together and then publish them out as services. We have our clouds running here, and we have the ability to have multiple clouds sitting over the top of our infrastructure and our fabric, and creating clouds is as easy as clicking the Create Cloud button. That will then take you through a wizard-driven process to create that cloud that we can run on top of our infrastructure fabric. Now, those applications that we talked about here are based on service templates, and if we take a look at what these service templates look like, these allow us to use very repeatable and template-driven applications. So this is the template designer, and this is where we can build out and create the templates that we will leverage in the app controller. So we may want to build out an application which is based on maybe a web tier. Maybe we have a SQL database tier, and then maybe we have an application tier. This will bring together the multiple components of the application. We can configure for each of the tiers what the scaling looks like in terms of a minimum instance count and then a maximum. We can set properties on this tier in terms of what hardware configuration, operating system configuration is applied, and so forth, any dependencies. We can set quotas and so forth, and then from a SQL Server point of view we can create the SQL Server's configurations and how we get to our SQL servers and so forth. And as easy as that, we can build out these applications. It's using templates that we've created in terms of operating systems and applications, using Server@V, for example, here in the application tier to allow us to rapidly scale out and deliver applications and services in a very consistent fashion. So that's the back-end view. That's the Virtual Machine Manager 2012, managing the fabric and creating these virtual machines and services. Let's flick over now to the App Controller view, which is the more app owner view. This is the business level view for someone who is responsible for actually delivering this application out to a business unit or a business as a whole. So here in the App Controller view we have an overview page where we can see not only across our internal private clouds that we were just working with in Virtual Machine Manager, but we also can reach out and see the Azure applications that we have running as well. And so we can see the virtual machines and the services that we have running. If we click on the virtual machine view, we have a very detailed, these are these virtual machine instances that are part of the services that I have access to. You can see up here I'm logged in as Ryan, so I don't have any kind of detail here. I can't go into the settings, and I see what's been delegated down to this user. When we click on a virtual machine, we can see where it sits inside the service template and sort of what application service has been delivered by this mechanism. But let's get out of that infrastructure view and go and take a look at the services. And here you can see Ryan has access to the Contoso publishing service, and this has an instance count of 4, so those 4 virtual machines. And then you just saw pop on the screen the Windows Azure applications that we have as well. So for Azure, for example, we can click on the diagram view, and now we're going to see rendered the Azure application and how it's structured. This demographic rendering application has a survey processor up front, some survey results reporting, and some web survey. Now we may want to scale this application in or out, and whatever is clickable in application controller or app controller is configurable, and so therefore we can go in and we could say that we want to scale this out from 2 to 4. Click OK, click Update. Now what's happening at the moment is App Controller is communicating with Windows Azure and saying we want to scale that roll out from 2 to 4, and as we just wait for that to kick in and wait a few seconds, if I do a refresh now, what we will see is that tile will move to a new state. That is, I think, transitioning. Yep, there it is. And so Windows Azure is now in real time scaling out this application. We've increased the instance count from 6 instances to 8, and that is now scaling out the application in the background. If we take a look at the clouds view, you can see that Ryan has access to the production and staging clouds. There were 4 clouds in Virtual Machine Manager. Ryan can only see 2 of them. And then when we come into the deployment mechanism, we can see that those templates that we created over in Virtual Machine Manager are now available to Ryan. He can come in and click on one and say that he wants to deploy that. He's then asked for some details around how he wants the application to be configured. For each instance, he can go in and set any additional parameters that he wants. If he wants specific names, or it'll just dynamically assign a number in the absence of there. He can apply a cost center and any tagging that he wants. And other than that, all he has to do is click OK, and that will now go out. And if we click the Start Deployment button, that will trigger the job that will then head off and deploy that application down. So that's just been a quick look through the application model that exists within Private Cloud, managed at the back end by Virtual Machine Manager 2012, creating those templates, creating those services, delegating the rights, and then App Controller being the front end view of that from the application owner point of view to manage not only those clouds but also being able to reach out across to Windows Azure.